The House of Representatives has tasked the Federal Ministry of Health, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC), and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency (NPHCDA) to enforce the mandatory diphtheria immunization, testing, and treatment across healthcare centers in all 774 local government areas of the country. The resolution was passed sequel to the adoption of a motion on the need to mitigate the spread of diphtheria, a major public health concern in Nigeria, to save lives, sponsored by Honorable Kwamoti Laori, who solicited the House's intervention. In his lead debate, Honorable Laori noted that diphtheria, a bacterial infection caused a Corynebacterium species, had become a critical public health issue since the first outbreak in Borno in 2011, claiming 21 lives. To this end, the House tasked Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation to raise public awareness through sensitization campaigns regarding the dangers, symptoms, and transmission modes of the diphtheria to prevent further spread and fatalities. Worried by the development, the House mandated the Joint Committees on Health and Health Institutions to assess the level of compliance with the mandatory diphtheria immunization, the capacity of health institutions to effectively respond to current threats of diphtheria spread across the country, and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. The House also mandated its Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, has begun the rescheduling of another Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, for candidates affected by glitches in the last exam. The rescheduling began yesterday after the registrar of the examination body, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, admitted to errors in the just concluded exam affecting over 200,000 candidates. The JAM registrar said the affected candidates would start getting text messages for the rescheduled exam starting today. In a related development, the Lagos State University has commended the registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, for demonstrating accountability, urging Nigerians to support him. The university gave the commendation in a statement issued by its Deputy Registrar and Coordinator, Center for Information and Public Relations, Mrs. Oluwayemisi Thomas Onashile. Thomas Onashile urged Nigerians to see the events surrounding the conduct of this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination not as a failure on the part of JAM, but as an opportunity to further strengthen the examination systems. He called that Professor Oloyede had, at a news conference on May 14, stood before the country and done what most public officers would never do. The LASU spokesperson added that Professor Oloyede's decision to subject the process to an internal technical review and admit shortcomings was reflection of his exceptional character. Thomas Onashile added that the JAM registrar's track record dating back to his tenure as Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin had consistently shown commitment to excellence and integrity. Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, University of Nigeria Nsukka UNN branch, has threatened to sue the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, over the massive failure recorded in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. The chairman of ASU UNN, Comrade Oyibo Eze, who issued the threat while briefing newsmen in Nsukka, alleged that the massive failure, which mostly affected candidates from the southeast, was a deliberate attempt by JAM to stop children from the zone from gaining admission. He called on governors from the southeast to rise up to the challenge of injustice aimed at preventing children from the zone from gaining admission into higher institutions in the country. The ASU board said it was unbelievable and unacceptable that the whole of the university secondary school in Nsukka, no candidates who sat for the exam scored up to 200, in the UTME. Comrade Eze advised JAMB to act fast and review the results, as the massive failure had become a national issue that might attract national protests if nothing urgent was done. The federal government has urged tertiary institutions to permit students who applied for the student loan program under the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, to sit for their examination without any restriction. The government announced the creation of a high-level committee to streamline and standardize fee payment processes across the country's tertiary institutions in order to improve the financial operation between universities and NEL Fund. The panel was expected to standardize and the nomenclature of the charges when NEL Fund commenced the disbursement of the loan and when universities and other institutions began to announce the disbursement. Briefing is made in Abuja after meeting with NEL Fund. Vice chancellors and heads of tertiary institutions accused the misappropriation of students' misappropriation loan disbursement. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa said the panel was given 3 weeks to submit its report. It dismissed as untrue allegations by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) that 71.2 billion naira was missing from the fund, explaining that the removal of the service charge by beneficiary institutions was responsible for the allegations. He said the panel comprised representatives from NEL Fund, the Ministry of Education, the National Universities Commission, NUC, and heads of tertiary institutions. The federal government has approved the establishment of a National Forest Guard initiative aimed at reclaiming Nigeria's forests from terrorists, bandits, and criminal gangs. A statement by the presidential spokesperson, Mr. Sunday Dare, indicated that the recruitment and deployment of forest guards would commence immediately, targeting all 1,129 forests across the country. The statement said the forest guards would be well-trained, armed, and mandated to flush out criminal elements using the forests as hideouts for violent activities. It noted that thousands of young Nigerians were expected to be recruited into the outfit as part of a strategic initiative to create jobs while enhancing national security. The state government says its development trajectory remains on course, irrespective of the movement of the state political machinery to the All Progressives Congress, APC. The State's Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads, and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniago, stated this while briefing newsmen yesterday in Abuja, in Asaba. The report.
Thank you for those of us.
Mr. Aniago, in the company of the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Sir Festus Ahon, said the state government placed the interest of all Deltans in the fore of all its policies and programs. He said there was a lineup of projects to be commissioned shortly, many of which were near completion, adding that for every project executed, the governor had remained transparent and prudent in the management of infrastructure projects.
In the course of the days to come, we will be inviting you to join us to commission a number of projects across the 25 local government areas of Delta.
Concerning the health sector, Mr. Aniago said state-of-the-art equipment had been provided for government hospitals by the state government. Mr. Aniago expressed confidence that there will be greater federal government presence in the state with a shift from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC.
And the interest of Delta is what Uguruwuri is pushing as to how we can indeed expand the frontiers of development of our estates. And that is being carried very, very vigorously across sectors, be it in the health sector, in the education sector, in the work sector, which we are very much aware of, and indeed that of environment, not forgetting his effort at human capital development.
On the agricultural sector, the commissioner said the government was committed to ensuring food security as farm inputs were recently distributed to farmers in the state. Esther Oputa reporting. Communities in Isoko land have been advised to live in peace with their neighbors in order to enjoy the dividends of democracy. The Special Advisor to the Governor on Peace Building and Conflict Resolution, Chief Edwin Uzo, gave the advice at a meeting with some representatives of Aviara community in Isoko South local government area held in his office in Asaba. Henry Unogwa reports.
Chief Uzo said the meeting followed a petition to the state government by the Odegbe family and Aviara community against one Madam Oliwe of Iri community, both of Isoko South local government area, over a family land dispute. He noted that the petitioner claimed ownership of the land situated at Ogebe, Egwe, and Opalobe, which they said was bequeathed to them by their ancestral father. The special advisor assured the family that the state government would invite the other party to the dispute to hear their own side of the matter. He enjoined all to maintain peace while the investigation by the state government was ongoing, giving assurance that peace would be restored between both families.
All we need is our peace and reign. Anything that will go contrary against this, we don't welcome it. The governor of the state, our leader, His Excellency Right Honorable Francis Odo Boriwoli, has zero tolerance for crime. And as such, that mandate is what we maintain. We're moving the more agenda forward and also ensure that the communities are crisis-free moving forward.
Earlier, the legal representative of the Odegbe family of Aviara community, Mr. Elo Evru, sued for peace, adding that both families had lived peacefully for decades.
We were coming together, this was the actual from generation to generation, but we are talking about 10 generations ago, about 4, 5, 6 generations ago.
The two communities expressed satisfaction with the meeting and promised to maintain peace. Henry Onogwa reporting.
And that's it on the news. Many thanks for your time. I am Esther Oputa. Good morning and have a beautiful day.
Into the wild world of funky chicken dances and boxing.
And the Bongarino method didn't seem to be ready, but